So one of the really cool things about being a poet in this area, and I speak as someone that came from elsewhere, as I'm sure many of you did as well, is how friendly and supportive the scene is here, especially in Portland and Southwest Washington. And one of the really cool readings that I go to, and Ian goes to, is the first Monday open mic at Tony's Tavern. We have one of its hosts here with us, Frank Sauce. It's also hosted by Tommy Gaffney. That, and it's one of those places where, on the other side of the river, where you can really feel like it's home. Really feel like the people there are there to hear what you have to say, and they will give you a lot of love. And so there's several people here that try to make it their business to be at Tony's as much as possible. And one of them is our next reader, who's been creating quite a stir on the other side of the river. Please welcome Jennifer Robin.
This is my ritual. I've extricated enough. Okay. I'm going to read a couple pieces from this book, Death Confetti, and I might do something that's not in Death Confetti. So here, this book features a lot of sketches of people I randomly encounter, a few personal things as well. Pretty much ahead of time, the publisher and I decided it wasn't going to be a personal focus book. It's a lot of random encounters which reveal something about the voyeur who's interpreting them, known as I. And one of these that I'm going to read is, I might move over here. Let's see, less feedback over here. Yeah. One of these is called, I'm just going to move this whole thing aside. One of these is known as Poo Poo Splatter Splat. In Portland, the light rail is called the Max. I get on the Max, and a stop later, a guy gets on. I guess he's at least 19, with his big disused build, and his reams of soft flesh, and his 5 o'clock shadow at 2 p.m., and his legs in blue denim going gray that are so thick like pipelines of tendon, like tree trunks crossed in a madhouse ecstasy as he presses buttons on a little device. Everything these days is a device. Even a backpack can be an explosive device. And whenever I see one abandoned on a highway medium or a bus shelter, I think of the teams of plastic-wrapped security drones who will inevitably come running to inspect and remove the theoretical explosive backpack device, only to find empty Cheeto bags and lube and Axe cologne and Tic Tac containers and beef jerky wrappers and dead lighters and the Library of Alexandria inside. So this guy, he has a tiny device, and his ground chuck hands. His hands are just curled around it, pressing and flapping, and he is like a large toddler making poo, poo sounds. Nothing too crazy now. He is still in the realm of stoned dudes seeking thrills. He is the baby of the family, who everyone lets be a baby forever and ever and ever, until he is 56, and a janitor, and a diabetic, and in love with the neighbor's pubescent girl with mile-wide fish eyes and lips like a soft donut. This is he. He goes, poo, poo, no, come back, come back, as the tiny speaker makes bells and casino sounds. No war game is this. It is so abstract and cute, and if something is killed, it probably sighs in pleasure as you kill it. I imagine, as the man exclaims with a dizzy sort of glee, that if his mouth opened, he would expose a sharp and gleaming set of rabbit teeth. On his feet, he is cushioned with enormous marshmallow-colored sneakers. They jut out at impossible, pointless angles, like a Frank Gehry building. Pomp without circumstance. He is lost. He is lost in the most sublime adventure. He is, as Zen masters and yoga instructors might say, following his bliss. And the lottery bells susurrate, and he cries, no, no, come back, come back. Again and again, morning. If but for a second, the loss of digital nonsense. Okay, here's another transit mall bus portrait called Nuclear Winter. How do you like this word? Nuclear winter. How do you like this word? Freezing to death. How do you like them together? Nuclear winter, freezing to death. On February 24th, 2036, that's the end. That's when the world is gonna end. I don't care. I have my wife in the Justice Center. His apple red face is full of pores as big as moon craters. While he wears a hood on his head, a mass of dirty blonde hair sticks out at odd angles, frozen by stalactites, frozen like stalactites, by a personal grease. His body is stocky, long, Nordic in its girth. Those massive ski-stick legs and dirty pale denim, pale eyes, pale biceps, windbreaker BO, hiking boots turn to sponges in the rain. His oratory goes on. It is in a drunken voice that feels all too familiar to me. I met my girlfriend freshman year math class in 1981. I still love her. Love her still. She's in the Justice Center. The world's gonna end in 2036, but I don't care. So long as I got my wife. I got a direct line to God. Only a fantasy. This is a fantasy. Ricardo Montalban Island. Dear plane. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Ricardo Montalban is gone. Wrath of Khan. He put us on this planet, Khan, 25 years ago. Life has changed. Never mind. James T. Kirk. Only a movie? Let's talk about reality. If I don't get my wife, I came back for her. Everything I do in my life is for her. Make her happy. He says it like a prayer. My wife, my life. Share my wife with another man. That makes her happy? Okay. I stay on the bus longer just to hear him. Peer at his red face. Feel where his words are going. He really does get off at the Justice Center. A real place with a comic book name. The jail, the courts, the monolith. This is all a fantasy, but it won't end in 2036. I would do anything for my wife too, if I had one. The buildings are occluded with fog. And before we get up to Ian, I'll do two really short shorts from this, which is not Death Confetti, but it's also, like the stuff in there, nonfiction, autobiographical sketches. Tony was reading something that took place in New York. This also takes place in New York. It's called Kittens. It's placed in Rochester. And for one of your Tony's readings, I didn't have it with me and tried to just make it up out of my head, but this is the actual thing. Because I wanted to read it so much and just didn't have that piece of paper with me. The first amazing lover I had was an Italian stallion, a radioactive janitor. This is true. A soused prince. He worked in a hospital, and his job was to detect radioactive spills in laboratories. I was 21 years old. I don't know what he would do to clean them up, however, but he at least detected them. I was 21 years old, and after 4 years of trying out as many men as I could get my hands on, I met one who made me feel yellow stars. The boundaries of pleasure to pain, the whole 9 yards from here to Venus. All we ever wanted to do was have sex. Days and nights passed in a half-world, a jagged, psychedelic outside time, above, yet in our skins. I asked him how he had learned to touch women's bodies this way, and he said, from petting cats. If he touched cats this way, I'm surprised that New York State isn't overpopulated by thousands of 6-foot-high Italian kittens. Okay, one tiny more paragraph piece, which is another sketch of someone who kept on threatening to commit suicide. It's called Love Me. She was wearing a t-shirt that said, "Love me," no bra, and fresh green nail polish, short shorts, no stockings, platform shoes that made her calves flex and wince with the strain. She had said 3 times earlier this week she was going to kill herself. But one look at that fresh nail polish told me she's not going to yet. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Ace Valley. Got copies of my book, which has a lot of sketches like that of people I've encountered in my life, available here if you're interested. But this book is really about, this night is really about this fella's book. This book that he wrote is going to be featured shortly. Maybe next. No, you're not yet. Maybe one in the future.